My name is Georgie, and today we are going to be going over the basics of fire building. So the first step is to gather what we call tinder. This is a thin fibrous material that will catch a flame very easily. You want to make sure that it's as dry as it possibly can be. So this is the inner bark of the western red cedar, which is a very abundant and common tree here in the Pacific Northwest. You can also use the inner bark of the black cottonwood tree. And this substance, it comes apart and looks really, really papery. But it works really well for making a tinder bundle too. And you basically want to do the same thing, as just really get it as small of fibers as you can. So it's always a really good idea, if you're going to be going out into the backcountry, backpacking or camping, to be prepared. I always like to bring some dry tinder with me because it can be pretty difficult getting a fire going. So you can get really creative with some of the stuff that you use. Anything that will create a small fiber is going to be amazing to use. As you already seen, we have the black cottonwood here, quite a bit of that. You can find that down by most rivers and stuff. We have the moss, which I like to use to extend my flame a little bit longer. If you're out there looking for tinder, you want to make sure it's as dry as possible. One of the things you can do is take your material and place it under your outermost layer. You don't want it directly next to your skin because you can sweat and cause it to remain wet. We have some birch bark. This stuff is great. It also tears down super thin, kind of like the cottonwood, only thinner. I always say it's better than paper. We have some clematis. This stuff is great. I found this on the east side, and it goes down into a really small fiber as well. Excellent stuff. We also can use horse dung, cow dung. It's all just made of hay and fibers as well. You can see here how fine it will break down to, pretty much a powder, and that will catch on fire really quick. So the next step is to gather some kindling. And this is what allows the fire to grow in size while the other material is catching on fire. One of my favorite things to use here is western hemlock. And you can see it's really thin and small. It's about the smallest size you can find around here. And this is what it looks like before it dies. So you want to make sure you find the nice dead stuff here. You're going to want a lot of this material to give your fire the best possible start. So once you have your kindling in place, you can move on to the next size of fuel. You want to start out as small as possible and then gradually work your way up to larger pieces. By starting out with the smaller pieces like this, your fire is going to be able to catch on and warm up these pieces so that then they will also be able to burn. So here I'm just layering the thin pieces to the thicker pieces so that when this catches on fire, it will be heating up these next sizes, and then those will catch on fire, and then they will start warming up the larger pieces so that they'll catch. So our fire teepee is built, but before we get to starting it, we want to make sure we have plenty of kindling nearby so that we're not running off trying to search for kindling. And that way it'll be available for us to stoke the fire as we need it, because chances are you'll need to add more fuel to it before it catches all the way up. There's a lot of ways to light fires these days. You can use anything from the modern lighter to the primitive bow drill set. Here at Alderleaf, we like to use the bow drill kit because it helps us keep our skills nice and sharp. So that's what I'll be doing today.